Alright, last time I was on the ice, I wanted to set my rods down. Didn't have anywhere to set them down. Stores near me, they don't sell any rod holders. And I'm not going to drive 1 hour to go get rod holders. I had some 6mm scrap rods in my shed. And I made these 2 rod holders. This one goes on the side of the sled. This one can be put on the ice. I do not. I'll figure I'll show you my jig I made first. Just a piece of steel pipe. It's made from snow stoppers for your roof. I took a 7mm drill bit and drilled a hole all the way through there. I drilled here, and I took a hacksaw and I bent that in. And you'll see when I make the sled rod holder, the reason you need that, so you can get the rod holder off there. And I just got it clamped down to my kitchen table because I don't have a vise. Otherwise I would have used a vise. Alright, I got 2 rods. This longer rod is 90 centimeters. This is for the rod mount that goes, that you can just set on the ice. I've got pieces of tape, one at the starting end where I'll start my bend, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're spread out at 20 centimeters each. Then I got my shorter rod that goes for the rod holder on the side of the sled. It is 55 centimeters. We'll go with the more complicated one first. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stick this end in with your tape, and you're just gonna stick it in the hole so your tape is barely sticking out. This is the hole that's drilled all the way through. You're just barely sticking all the way out, and you're just gonna place your thumb here, because if you don't place your thumb and press pressure here and you go to bend, it's just gonna bend off over here. So I'm using 6mm rod. We're just gonna bend. We're looking for a perfect candy cane shape, so I want to bend a little more. Right there. Next, we're gonna drop the rod all the way down in there. This is the through hole. You see the rod pass through all the way. Also, it's good to have a 7mm hole so this tape will fit through. Now you're going to drop this screw down right there. Right there, sit on the rod. You're going to pull up just about a 1/2 inch. This is probably going to be the most difficult bend. How did I bend it again? Oh, yeah, I think it went along with the pipe here, so it doesn't matter. Probably easiest you grab the pliers. To make this bend, so you want to have it flush there. Turn it 90 degrees. Grab it with your pliers. Pull your pliers up off the bending vise about, I don't know, 1/2 inch. Turn it to the side. I'm gonna bend this down. We got about a little over 90. I'll back out and show you guys what that looks like. So that's what we're looking for. Now it's not straight, so I'm able to straighten out just by dropping this end in the vise with the tape, and I'll drop it all the way in there, and I can straighten it out by pulling and adjusting like that to get it straight. Now we're pretty straight there. It's good enough for me. Now we want this this angle right here on this corner, we want it coming down here. So we want this tape right here to line up with this bottom edge. So we're going to stick it back in, or we could do this one, this bend. Stick the rod back in there. Grab our pliers. And bend that like so. Now we're pretty lined up there. We're pretty close. Actually, we are right on. So you want this bottom edge to hit the bottom end of the tape. Then all you do is drop it in there again. Now to line this up, remember you want your line the candy cane opening right here with your vise or your pipe where you're using to bend, and you're going to want to bend. Trying to think, yeah. You're going to want to bend so your tape tip is just sticking out. You don't want to line it. You have the U end, so you're pulling it away from the vise, so it's the side, not lining up with it. You're going to bend that now. I almost bent it the wrong way. You're going to go the opposite direction, so now we want our U, our candy cane shape, to go the opposite direction. So we're going to bend that down right there. That's what we got now. Like a letter Z almost. And then to get our U shape the other direction here, drop it in the vise again. Right there. So now we want to pick up, I actually should have put another piece of tape there. You want to pick up your fist thickness. Should be just right. It's about 3 inches. And then you're going to bend. I got this thing in the wrong way right now. I'm trying to figure it out. This is the most confusing one to make. Yeah. And now this one you don't want to bend tight with the pipe, so you're going to lift up when you're bending. You're going to lift up on this bend here. So here's our first bend. You're going to lift up on this bend, or else you're going to get a real tight corner there. You don't want a tight corner, so you want to slowly work it. Alright, that's what we've got now. Now this is just going to be, if I put this on the ice, my rod's going to be going straight down. So now I'm just able to drop this in the vise, and I'm going to adjust this to the angle that I want. So he's right there. Level up. We're going to leave about an inch gap there. Lift up. You're able to adjust this too when it's on the ground. That's what we're working with right now. We take a rod, hammer goes in, reel comes on that side and drops in right there and holds your rod. If it goes in this way, it's just going to fall. So it just holds the rod up off the ice. Now to make the leg. So we've got our mark here. We're going to drop this down. And then vise again. Just up to that tape. And now we don't want to bend this bend. We want this bend, so our rod is here. Our rod's going to be lined up here. So we want our bend to be coming out to the side. So that's what we want our bottom to look like. So our rod is going to be lining up there. So we're going to go ahead and alright, let's get back to it. That's our bend right there. Now we can adjust this just by holding it and adjust it to where we want it. So we don't want this, you do not want it to be lined up like that. So here our rod comes through. Our rod is going to come through right here. Our rod comes through right here. We want this to go up at an angle like this. So we're just going to grab here, grab our rod holder, and we're going to twist it to the side. Probably easiest to stick it in the vise and twist it. Drop it down right there. And well, we went to the opposite direction, but it's going to work no matter what. Now we're going to drop down to the next piece of tape. Just like so. Now you want to, this is where you want to line everything up here when you're making these bends. He's already standing up on his own. Like so. And we can just stick this in the vise. Like so. And adjust where we want our rod. To line it up. There we go. Our last bend here. Like so. Alright, we got to do a little bit of adjusting still. So we want our rod to be lined up in the center in between these two pieces of tape. Alright, we got that lined up. We can bend this tip in a little more if we want. But it'll work.